Welcome to another episode of Goodnight Sleepyhead. Episode 6 to be exact. Six. Yes, this is episode 6.
This was, if we were in Germany, this would be episode 6. I don't think that's really true. It's from that movie.
I don't know.
That's from National Lampoon's European Vacation.
Oh, that's right. That was the worst one, I think.
Up to the part where they get chased, like in every 80s movie.
Yeah.
You go to Europe and you get chased by spies.
Mm-hmm. That was kind of the Cold War paranoia, I think. But anyhow.
I always turn it off at that point.
That's a good point to turn it off, yes. But anyhow, we've got a brand new episode for you all today. Jason's going to be telling us his dream a little bit. And we do not have any comments to share with you all today. We film these back to back. And we'll have comments later on in another show, but we do want to say... The next episode, yes. We do want to say thank you for subscribing, and thank you for giving us a rating, and for tuning in. So, Jason, let's get on with everything here.
All right. You ready for this one?
I'm ready for this one.
I haven't told you this at all.
You haven't told me this at all. This is brand new.
This dream is so weird. I dreamed this probably 2 weeks ago now. I've been dying to tell you this.
Well, and, I've been dying to hear it.
And are you familiar with the show Petticoat Junction?
I am.
If you're not familiar with it, I think it started in 1963. And how do you say her name? B. Bernadette. No, that's not how you spell it. B. Where'd she go? I didn't write a name. Well, anyway, the mother of the show, her real name's B.
Bernadette or something like that. Please forgive us. I'm sure we're not pronouncing
that. We just
looked
it up, too. Anyway, so she's the star of the show, and she has 3 kids. She's a widow. Billy Joe, Bobby Joe, and Betty Joe are her kids. And they run a hotel in Hootersville, which is the same place where Green Acres is set up. Oh. This came first, actually. There's 2 seasons that are black and white.
Is that so?
Yeah, then by the 3rd season, Green Acres came on. And before Petticoat Junction came on, Beverly Hillbillies was on. So this is actually kind of a spin-off of the same creators, really. And there's a couple times where they mention the Beverly Hillbillies on TV. Uh-huh. But there's an episode where Granny actually comes to the hotel. It's called the Shady Rest. And Granny comes to the hotel, the Shady Rest.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So
all 3 are kind of intertwined then.
So let me introduce you to the cast. They are here tonight.
Oh, yay. Give a big round of applause for
Kate. Kate is here tonight. You know what's weird? I had a dream that I did this show, like what we're doing now, with these props. So I had to make these props. So this is B. She was actually on Beverly Hillbillies as Jethro's mom.
Oh, really?
In the 1st season.
Huh.
Yeah, and then they connected to the show when Granny came on. She played the cousin Pearl on Beverly Hillbillies, and so on the show they mentioned that Kate Bradley's the last name, the Bradley girls. Mm-hmm. Kate Bradley was related to Pearl, so she played the same character.
Very cool.
They had an uncle that lived there, which is her uncle. And his name is Uncle Joe, and like the theme song says, that's Uncle Joe. He's moving kind of slow at the junction. He's just a lazy guy, but fun, lovable, lazy guy. Yeah. And here's Uncle. Oh, that's Uncle Joe.
Ooh, put that back up, please.
Where'd Uncle Joe go?
I don't care. Just put her back up.
Hey, Bobby Joe. Uncle Joe. Well, he's not here.
Where did you go, Uncle Joe?
I have to cut this out. There he is.
Yeah.
I wrote Bobby Joe.
Yeah, we'll have to clean
that out. All right, so here's Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe.
Yeah, and so he was a fun character. You remember him? You ever
Yes.
You've seen Petticoat Junction?
I've seen, yes.
It used to be on MeTV, right? You said?
I remember a couple summers ago. Yeah, it was on MeTV.
So this is her this is her uncle.
I believe it still is, by the way.
And so She had 3 daughters, which is... Here, hold these. Here's the youngest daughter. That's Betty Jo.
Betty Jo.
And then we have Billy Jo.
Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's several actresses that played her, the Billy Jo character. And we're missing Bobby Jo. What the hell? Man, I am not prepared for this. We might have to do this whole second again.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. We're going to have to do that.
Okay.
All right, test. Okay, here we go. All right, so I found Bobby Jo, Laura Saunders, excuse me. She's the middle one. Here's the oldest one.
Woo.
Meredith McRae. That's Billy Jo. And then Betty Jo. Okay? So here's all 3 of the sisters with their family. This is so weird. And so they lived at the Shady Rest. And they were much younger. I couldn't find any pictures of them when they were... good pictures, like high definition where you guys can see them. Anyway, so... I want to give a history of the Petticoat. That's tied in my dream.
Okay.
So, I just want to say by season 5, the actress that played the mom got cancer.
Oh, no.
And then by season 6, she died.
Oh.
So, but the show still went on for several more seasons. And they introduced a new guy to the show, Mike Miner.
Looks like
former Air Force pilot.
Fabian or somebody.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to go for. So he first dated her in the show, and then in real life, these two got married. Betty Jo and Mike Miner really got married. So they just said, okay, let's just have them date on the show and get married. Well, then poor Kate went to heaven in real life. She went to heaven. So, and it was just them now. Uncle Joe, Mike, get back here. So Mike and all that. So we're getting close to my dream here. So just bear with us. And then June Lockhart. That's not June Lockhart. June Lockhart came to the show.
Oh, she was in
Lost in Space.
Yeah.
Lassie.
I watch Lost in Space every night.
Yeah, she's
on MeTV.
She's the doctor. She played the doctor that lived at the hotel, and she's kind of the surrogate mother type thing.
Okay.
To fill in.
Cool.
So, but when Mom was still here on season 5, and when Mike Miner hold this one too. So when Mike Miner came into the show, it went from slapstick comedy to more musical, and they would sing like 2 or 3 songs in an episode.
Really?
Just at a drop of a hat, and they're okay songs. Okay, that really ties into my dream. All right. So in my dream, I dreamed that I bought the hotel.
You bought the Shady Rest?
I bought the Shady Rest because
Oh.
Mom passed away. Janet was there, the doctor. Uncle Joe was sick, though, unfortunately, on his deathbed. And so I went... Here, you can put him back. He's not dead yet.
Oh.
So I bought the hotel.
Jumping the gun. I apologize.
So I went, as
Jason Chapman.
Yeah, went to I found out through the newspaper, that Shady Rest was, for sale. But I knew it was a TV show too. But it was real too in my dream.
Uh-huh.
So I rode the cannonball because in Hooterville you have to ride a train everywhere. So to get to the hotel.
Yeah.
So I rode the cannonball with Floyd and Charlie, and those are the engineers. And then I met this 4 and Janet. Uncle Joe was on his deathbed upstairs, so you can put him over here for right now. So why don't you hold Mike? Or Steve, real name Mike Miner.
I don't get to hold any of the pretty girls.
So anyway, they gave me the grand tour and all that, and I said, yeah, I'm ready to buy this. They asked me, and what am I going to use the hotel for? And I said, I'm going to use it as a hotel. They're like, oh, that's good. And then the girls were like, well, Uncle Joe's dying, so, I think I'm going to go. Billy Joe said, I'm going to go to the big city. And she's like, well, I'm going to be a teacher, because that's their characters, really. She was a singer. Mm-hmm. She was more of a bookworm, and she was the tomboy.
Oh, okay.
And so these two here, Betty Joe and Steve, they lived in the hotel, but they had their own cottage and all that. Steve had his own crop dusting thing. So she says, well, Jason, I would help you I would help you run the hotel if you hire me as like the manager or something.
Right.
And since that was Uncle Joe's title, it's supposed to be the manager. So I said, okay, I'll hire you. And so she stayed on, while Steve worked. And they had a baby, Kathy Joe, whatever her name was. So she was going to stay. That's where the dream ends. All right?
Okay.
But here's the clincher. And I'll put this on the screen. That was the quality of my dream. The whole dream was that quality.
Really?
I had a headache when I woke up.
I bet you did.
But it was all blurry, and it was horrible. So I kind of laughed, and I wasn't going to use this for the show, all right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's funny. The next night, I went to sleep. Part 2 of Petticoat Junction. Oh, my
goodness.
So, where'd Uncle Joe? Okay, so Uncle Joe, rest in peace. He was dead already.
Oh,
he passed away.
That's too bad.
So the girls okay, so go over here, Uncle Joe. So the girls, these two girls, said, well, we are going to leave now because there's no, I can go to the city, be a big singer. I can be a school teacher in the town over, Pixley or something, and I can find my own place. And then, like I said, Betty Joe was going to be the manager and help me run the hotel. My wife, Melissa, and Sam were on the cannonball, and I was all excited about them.
Oh, really?
Coming.
That's cool.
And because it must have been like a week or so. I was there in Hooterville.
Yeah.
Getting everything set up. So Melissa and Sam, baby Sam. So this was like now.
Yeah.
And so baby Sam was coming and to live at the Shady Rest, and they're all excited. I knew they were excited. They wrote me a letter. And like I said, when I dream, it's third person, first person. So it's like a TV show, but I'm actually living it. So everyone's excited about, having a happy ending and all that. And so, okay, wait. So these three, hold this one now. They're all standing in the lobby, right? We hear the train. And so it's time for Billy Joe and Bobby Joe to leave the show. And I knew it was a show, too, which is weird. Is this making sense?
Yes.
Okay. I just thought I might have it. So they were upstairs because it's a 2-story hotel, like a kind of bed and breakfast, what we call now a bed and breakfast.
Right.
So we're, all four of us here, we're in the lobby, and I'm behind the counter, like right there in that picture. Right. I'm behind the counter, and so Bobby Joe says, well, guys, the cannonball's outside. I'm ready to leave. And then Steve breaks into song.
Oh.
And I was like, I hear the music, and I'm like, oh, God. Because that's what I do sometimes when the episodes they sing.
There's nothing worse than
bad songs.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I feel a song coming on.
So I was like, man, I hope we have enough time on the show to do this. So Steve is like, let me make sure this is still going. Okay. So Steve is up there, and the music kicks on. I'm rolling my eyes, and Steve goes, you'll be fine on your own. So get out of here. And the music went dun 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 dun. And that was it.
Oh.
And I looked at Steve and I said, that's it? The last show with the girls on there, and that's all you're gonna sing? And Steve is like, yeah. And I said, at least you could sing the theme to the Mary Tyler Moore song. And then Betty Joe right here says, who's Mary Tyler Moore? Because that show wasn't on yet.
That's true.
Because when this show got canceled, I think, if I'm 99% sure, the Mary Tyler Moore show took over.
And that was kind of at that point whenever they switched from the rural to the more big city, metropolitan sort of.
Yeah. So she walks down the stairs, and so you know this one too. And the train blows her whistle again, right?
Yes.
And then she's like, "Well, I'm ready to go. This is Billy Joe, the oldest one. It's fine. It's time for me to go." So I kind of half-ass look at Steve because I knew a song was coming. He raised his arms up. You'll be, and then the credits rolled. We ran out of time. The end.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
And then that dream was that same quality too.
That grainy quality.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So what do you think that means?
I don't know. Maybe you in an alternative life
By the Shady Rest?
By the Shady Rest, or yeah, I don't know. That's what you all need to do that watch the show. Please tell us what you think of this dream, what you think it means. We want to hear from you. So, does Jason want to live in the Shady Rest and own? I'll take this one.
Meredith McRae.
If does Jason want to own the Shady Rest in another life? Does he own the Shady Rest in another life? I don't know.
That one your favorite? That one's your favorite?
For right now, it is.
You want to see who I always had a crush on?
Who'd you have a crush on?
When I was a kid, watching Petticoat Junction?
Who?
The mom. You know the dog that was on Petticoat Junction is the same dog who played Benji?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he eventually became Benji.
My goodness. How old was he by the time he did Benji?
Man, he had to be like in his upper 8s or 9s.
Ooh, wow. I had no idea.
But here's a good, funny story. I read this on the Wikipedia. I never, little tidbit for you guys. I guess Edward Buchanan, Uncle Joe, he was on a Benji movie. And so they brought the dog out. And on the Petticoat Junction, the dog's name was Dog.
Just Dog?
Yeah.
That's cute. Cool.
So anyway, Edward Buchanan had I don't know if he was actually the star of that Benji movie, but he was in Benji.
Huh.
And so they said he was actually nervous about meeting the dog again. He was hoping that the dog will remember him. They brought Benji out. Benji ran straight toward him, jumped in his lap, and they said Ed Buchanan had some tears in his eyes.
Oh, that's
because he missed him it's been like several years after Petticoat. Yeah. So the dog actually remembered him.
That is a sweet story.
But him and the dog had a really good relationship in the show.
Very cool. So, I always liked those Benji movies when I
did too. So here's my favorite again. You want to see my second favorite?
Sure.
June
Lockhart.
Yeah, it's so weird. I had a dream that I had these props, so I wish it just turned out a little bit better, especially when I said, "Here's Bobby Joe." No, not Bobby Joe. You know, out of the cast, I think June Lockhart's passed away, too.
Has she?
Maybe, but out of the cast, this is the right here. All four of them has passed away. That's sad.
Oh, is it? Even this pretty lady right here?
She had cancer in the brain.
That's too bad.
Yeah, but...
Well, rest in peace.
Yeah, so thank you for being part of my childhood, you guys. So, our first guest stars.
Yes.
The cast of
Petticoat Junction.
Yeah, so we better wrap this up. So, rate, comment, subscribe. If you think you know what this dream means, comment down below. And anything else we're leaving?
I don't think so. I think that about covers it. So,
okay, so
thank you all for watching another episode of Goodnight Sleepyhead.
I'm so sick of your face. What else can I so sick of your face. The ugly keeps pouring, the ugly keeps pouring, the ugly keeps pouring through.
And the ugly keeps
I'm so sick of your face. What else can I do? I'm so sick of your face. The ugly keeps pouring, the ugly keeps pouring, the ugly keeps pouring through.
and the ugly keeps pouring.
Works.